Hey, it's Jay Billig. Today I'm going to talk to you about context. Now, when I'm thinking of context, it boils down for me to moving from a place of tension to a place of release. And another way to describe that, if you're sort of holding on tight to something and then the release of that. When something shows up, particularly for me, I notice, I end up clinging to an old pattern that is part of the old operating system. And what I've noticed is that it's usually an automatic no. Like, I don't know where I got that from. I think it probably traces back to my parents. My dad telling me that it was easier to say yes after no than it was the other way around. So maybe that, carried through with me. But most of the time, with that automatic no comes the being absolutely positively sure that I'm right. And I more times than I'd like to admit, I definitely show up with that. And they are for legitimate reasons. And, everyone, doing this, showing up in that tension side of things, the reasons they're showing up that way are legitimate reasons. I could name all sorts of them, in those moments. An example came to me the other day when I was out for my son's birthday. He wanted to go cliff jumping at a lake that I had never been to before. It's like, sure, that'll be great. So we went out with a number of their friends. We get out to the lake and they show me the cliffs and all that. And I go park myself next to the water. Now I have a legitimate fear of water over my head for a number of experiences that I've had in my life. And so there I sat on the edge of the lake. It was only after, I had sat there for an hour or so, completely oblivious to the possibility that there could be some other way to experience the lake than clinging to the shore. So I was able, I found my way out a little ways to discover that there were actually rocks a little ways out that I could stand on, experiencing the lake without having to be in water over my head, and from a completely different perspective. And so I was able to turn that tension about it into a release with that aha moment. So that's my context. Enjoy. The context that showed up for me over the last week, and it was a big one.